it's Beth. Today we are talking events, how to join them and how to create your own. Because once you start getting into CVRcade racing and rides, you're going to want to make your own races and rides for your friends and for the larger CVRcade population. So let's start at the beginning with joining a event. So what you do is you can click on the hamburger menu, and that brings up all of these headings here. You can click on play, that's where events is, and click on events. But there are two ways to get to all of these things. All you have to do is close back out of that first of all. Whoops, gonna make it big. Close out of that and click on this icon without even opening the main menu, and here is your events. So let's make that a little bit bigger so we can read it, or I can read it. So all you need to do, this is the tile view, and then there's a little icon up here that can click to the list view. So depending on what you prefer to see, it says pretty much the same information, except on the tile view you can actually get a little preview of the course by the thumbnail. So down here on the bottom, it tells you the course, it tells you the laps, it tells you how difficult it is, the map and profile, and then what power-ups are in play. To schedule yourself for a race, this one's happening in 4 hours, you would just select the race and click schedule, and that's all you would do. This upper icon, these green icons up here in the right-hand corner actually, means that these races are linked together, so it's a series of races. You can see over here, this check mark here, that means I'm already signed up for that race. See, it says unschedule. When I'm clicked on one that I'm not scheduled for, I have the option of scheduling it, and if I'm on one with the check mark, I've already scheduled myself. If I wanted to unschedule myself for that, I would just simply click unschedule, but I don't want to do that. So let's talk about creating an event. So once you say, let's say for example, we see this race here. It's going to be happening later today in 5 hours. That's the countdown clock. It is a race, requires, there's already 6 players signed up to do it. So it's Fantastic Alien Sea, it's 3 laps, and these 3 are on as abilities. That little infinite sign means those power-ups are actually turned on as an ability, so they'll be active the entire race, so you won't crash out in a corner, you can phase through other riders, and you are uncrashable from bumping. So you're not going to be able to, so when you change lanes, you won't be knocking each other down or yourself down. So if you wanted to go ahead and create that event, you could create that exact event to practice on. Okay, but this is a low skill event because there's no crashing and you can phase through, as opposed to one that's a little more difficult, where there's only one power-up in play and there's no abilities here on this race. So that race is going to be a little bit trickier because you do have to watch the corner speeds, you do have to watch what lane position you're in so that you don't bump into other riders. So this one you might want to do your own event, and you could certainly do that. So let's talk about how you would create an event. You can create by hitting create, and you can create races or rides. You don't have to just do races. So here's where you would do race, elimination, recovery, or ride. But before we stay here, let's go ahead to the advanced view, because this is where you can set all your power-ups. This is where you can do the advanced stuff. So very simply, I'm going to just set up test Beth. So now you can see I'm the organizer. It is going to be a recurring event, and if it's going to be a recurring event, I'm going to say to repeat it until a certain time. So go ahead in here, let's put in a time. Let's say we're going to repeat this until 9 o'clock this morning, or 9:30. Let's say until 9:30 this morning we're going to be able to repeat this. I'm going to set in a minimum number of riders down here to 1, because I'm just going to do it for myself. If anyone else wants to join me, that's fine. But as soon as that condition is met, I am going to be able to start that race within 2 minutes, and you'll see what I mean in a second here. So I could write in a description. You can see that I'm going to do it as a race. I could do it as a ride. If I did it as a ride, let's just show you here. I could assign a leader and a sweeper, and the leader feature is really cool because that means whoever the leader is, the riders behind them, no matter how much watts they're pushing, they cannot pass the leader. So there's no way for anyone to fly off the front. Sweepers, that kind of acts as a tow rope. Someone is a sweeper, they can drop back and hook in the person and pull them back very easily. So you can assign a leader and a sweeper for your rides. But I'm going to do this, I'm going to actually do this as a race. So I'm going to go back to race. I should probably tell you what strategy and elimination and recovery is. Strategy race, you can select what power-ups that people can choose from, so they have to decide I get 3 power-ups. Which ones am I going to use? Which ones are going to recur? So it's just a slightly different way of playing the game. Elimination, that's when you have a track and you say you have 10 people on it. The race will go for 10 laps, and every time the last person crosses the line, they get eliminated. Then there's 9 laps. Then the next person, the last person to cross the line, gets eliminated. Then it's 8 players. So it's a last person standing type of a race. And then the other style is just the regular race. So a minimum number of riders, max number of riders. I could set 10. Maybe I just want to have 10 people in this race. I don't want it to be 50. I can set that to whatever I want. AI rider count, this is cool. So if you want to have AI riders with you, bots, you can assign bots to that race. So let's just add a few to that because I want to practice with other people. I want to practice drafting. I want to practice just, having those obstacles to move around. And then how fast are those bots going to go? Well, we express that in their equalized watts. So I'm going to say 250. I did once drafting practice with them going 367, and I didn't need to go that hard. But anyway, you can experiment with what the bot level feels right for you to do some drafting practice. So down here, you can do a track stack. So just like our World Cup events have our omnimums, I can't say that word, our series of 3 Please, it's way too early. I think I need to have some more coffee. But that word. And so I'm going to say dark matter. Well, do I want a dark matter velo? Which course do I want to do? Maybe I'll do mountain bike by Jesper. Okay, so how many laps on mountain bike by Jesper? Let's say 5 laps. Great. And then I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. And these are all the power-ups to choose from. So I can, right now, because those are permitted power-ups, they're going to refill automatically in the in your little bank down here. But if I wanted to take some off, like, no, I don't want corner caper in there, so I'm going to just take them off the list, lazy boy. Nope. So basically, I take the ones I don't want, throw them over here, throw them all over there, and then I can put the ones back in that I want. So I don't really want great responsibility. Ooh, flat tire. Ooh, I've already talked about that one. That's a weird noise I just made. Anyway, so you can go through and you can set the power plant, the different power-ups that you want, put those in, and you can just move them back and forth with these arrows. You can also decide what bikes are permitted, what bikes aren't permitted, and then I think this is it. So test Beth. It's going to recur every 120, it's going to delay the race. It's going to start every 2 minutes as soon as the minimum requirements are met. So you could have a minimum of 10 riders and boom, they get 10 more riders, boom, another instance happens, boom, another instant happens. Or you could just do it not be a recurring event, a one-time event. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. Dun, dun, dun. Go back to events, and it should be in here. Oh, I'm gonna make it bigger. Interesting stuff. Test Beth. There it is. High skill. Yes. And then if I was to, you can see that it says join now. That's because it's going to happen within 15 minutes. So I'll go ahead and click join on that. And then it takes me to the race. You can see it says downloading track, and that's because there's been updates since the last time I was on this. It could say downloading from cache, which means it's local, but this was actually some changes made to the course. So here's flat tires, power plant, and tractor beam. Those were the power-ups that I did put in there. So I'd close out of that. Starts in 1:41, and that's how you can create your own events.